Consequences for misconduct must be certain and they must be final. If they're not, we get police officers back on the department that need to be fired. State law and collective bargaining contracts protect bad officers.
That was the voice of San Antonio Police Chief William McManus briefing City Council yesterday on how officers are disciplined right now and ways he says the system could work better. This is a developing story we've been following for you. The chief says he's just frustrated by a key part of the city's police contract that allows officers who have broken the rules to appeal their punishments. Often they're changed or reversed and they get their job back. Now, we are digging deeper into this agreement for you. The latest contract agreement took effect in 2016, runs through September of next year. It does give the police chief the authority to demote, suspend, or indefinitely suspend, basically fire, any officer who violates the rules and regulations. But it also gives that officer the opportunity to appeal, and that can force the issue to arbitration, meaning in some cases the officers get their jobs back. Now, the chief says in cases where officers have been accused of egregious things, he's had to find them then jobs with little to no public interaction after they got their jobs back. So tonight we wanted to know what the Police Officers Association thinks about the chief's comments.
I think it's quite unfair to blame the contract or to blame the organization.
Tonight, News 4 San Antonio's Jim Lefko explains why some say that people on both sides of this issue really want the same thing.
A movement to erode or even eliminate the police union's power could lead to significant changes in the way it operates.
We're being peaceful right now, so you have time to fix it while we're being peaceful.
Jordan Parks founded Reliable Revolutionaries to help bring about change.
Now that we have the attention and we have their ear, I think that it's going to be pretty easy to at least get the ball rolling.
One thing protesters want to see change is the powerful police union.
I think that the union needs to be not necessarily dismantled, but re-put together with new voices and new people.
Mike Helly is retiring around the end of the year, which will bring about change at the top of the police union. The organization's president says a peaceful dialogue is what the union wants too.
There's a lot of rhetoric that's out there and a lot of anger. There's a lot of emotion, and that's very typical. We all want to find a peaceful resolution that addresses some of the concerns that have been brought up regarding the discipline in our contract.
In due time, the union side will also be heard.
We're listening to the community right now, and at some point they're going to get around where they're going to have to listen to us.
Helly says health concerns are causing him to vacate the position he's held for 12 years.
A lot of people don't know that I was diagnosed with cancer last year.
If things remain contentious, he promises to stay on. Protesters claim they aren't going away.
Because as soon as we let up, as soon as we stop showing up, they're going to think that it's no longer a problem.
Jim Lefko, News 4 San Antonio.
New at 5, the San Antonio City Council Public Safety Committee wants to know what you think about policing in San Antonio. They're offering 3 community listening sessions. The first is next Monday, starting at 5:30. It'll be a virtual meeting. For the details on all of the meetings, go to news4sa.com. Today, young ambitious activists held a walk for justice. This was held in front of Taft High School on Culebra. Organizers said they want to bring the protests to the suburbs and honor the communications graduate that was injured in Austin. They also said the protest was for anyone, specifically teens that may not have been able to make it down to the downtown events.
I feel like it's important for me to be out here protesting and having a voice for people my age that might be too afraid to come out and protest themselves. It's so important because this is our future that we are fighting for. You know, we all want to be have equality.
Some activists say they will continue to attend protests until they see change.
And we are connecting you with Congress here on News 4. And today, Congressman Will Hurd talked with us about police reform. He says we need to make sure that no one dies in police custody, but that all starts with training and best practices that are used across the country, though every agency is different.
I want to make sure if you ever have to call 911, that a officer shows up who knows how to de-escalate the situation. And so making sure that we use the dollars that go to police in the most effective way possible is the way to do this. But defunding the police will lead to less safe communities.
Now, Hurd said 10% of stops by law enforcement have to do with some kind of mental health issue. And when talking about mental health training, he says that San Antonio does have some of the best practices in the country. Officers other places only take 8 hours of training. Here, they take 40, and that's just one area he says could be improved.